What is a program? No, program is nothing but it is a set of instructions, and it is nothing but a set of sequential instructions. How come computer knows that this is an MS Word file, or this is an MS Excel file, or it is a PowerPoint file? So all these are managed by an operating system, that is memory management. If authentication is success, you could be able to get into any of the email system, or if authentication fails, then you cannot log into any of your email system. Dear students, welcome to CS classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in computer science, Vidhyaashram PU College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Students, let us start our session with the concepts: language translator, function of OS, that is nothing but operating system, and user interface. These are the topics to be covered in this session. Let us see. First one is, what are utilities? Utilities are those helpful programs that assist the computer by performing useful functions like backing up of disk and scanning or cleaning viruses or arranging information, etc. So here, one of the component of system software is utilities. Utilities are nothing but a special program, or it is also a type of program, and is going to help in different ways, like performing user functions, like backing up disk. So what is the meaning of backing up? Means copying the data to some other devices, that is called backing up. And scanning or cleaning for viruses. So we are going to scan our computer system for different types of viruses. So all these are different types of programs or utilities helpful for computer users. So, and some of the important utilities are softwares are text editor, backup utility, compression utility, disk defragmentation, and antivirus software. These are all different utility software. Now, all of you know what is the antivirus software. So, it is a software used to clear the virus in our computer system. So, it is also a type of utility software or utilities. And compression utility. What is the meaning of compression? Now, I can give an example like a WinZip, or we are going to compress our file, or if the file is too big, too large to be transferred, so we need to compress the file. So to compress those files, we are using compression utility. It is just like WinZip. And backup utility, and it is a software to take the backup of our work, or to take the backup of the data in that particular computer. So these are all utilities. Utilities is a part of system software, and it is a helpful program. It is nothing but a software. So these are all examples for utility software. Now let us move on to next slide. Next one is linker. What is a linker? So linker is a system software which links the modules or program segments together so that they can be executed properly with proper reference. So here, now all of you know that what is a program. Now program is nothing but it is a set of instructions, and it is nothing but a set of sequential instructions. So this program consists of different types of procedures or different syntax, different coding, and all the things. So linker is a software which helps us to segments together. So it brings all the statements, all the instructions of a program together, and it's helpful in executing those statements in order. So that is the function of linker. It is nothing but rearranging the statements or instructions for proper execution. So that is called a linker. Next one is called loaders. What are loaders? A loader is a system software which accepts the object program produced by the compiler or assembler and prepares these programs for execution. Friends, in our previous session, we have learned about language translator. What are language translators? I mean, these are the software which is going to convert the programs written in high-level language or assembly level language into machine level language. So already we have learned a definition like source code and object code. What is a source code? The programs written in any of the high level language is called a source code. And as a computer cannot understand source code, it has to be translated. So after translation, so with the help of either compiler or assembler, it is going to generate an object code. So these are the loaders. So prepares these programs for execution. So this is nothing but linkers and loaders or utility software. Now let us see what are different functions of operating system. Now we know what are operating system. It is an interface between the user and the computer. So operating system is the platform or it is a base so that the user can work with different applications. So it is also operating system is a platform where the user can develop different types of program for different applications. So let us see the different functions of operating system. So first one is memory management. What is a memory? Now you know what is a memory. Memory is a place to store the data in computer. So what is the meaning of memory management? The memory management is nothing but to store different types of file separately. For example, now you know MS Word file. So how do you identify MS Word file? So we are using with the extension name .docx. And similarly for Excel we say .xlsx. These are called file extension name. Now how come computer knows that this is an MS Word file or this is an MS Excel file or it's a PowerPoint file? So all these are managed by an operating system, that is memory management. That is one thing. And we are going to save the file in computer memory. So it is going to allocate some space for your file. That is one of the responsibility of operating system. And also it displays a message that saying that in a computer, so these many spaces are available and these many places are left over. So we can make use of those remaining space for to store different application. And here creating a space for a file, deleting a space for a file, and also to manage different activities of a file are managed by this operating system. So this is memory management, one of the function of operating system. Second function is called process management. So what is a process? It is defined as program in execution. Now any program is written, it has to be executed. So first it has to be compiled, then it has to be executed. So execution of a program is called process. So if the computer execute one program, it is one process. Similarly, computer has the capabilities to run different programs simultaneously. That is nothing but a process. So this is process management. So under that, control access to shared resources like file, memory and CPU. So this the operating system, it controls access shared resources like file and memory. So all these are hardware and all these are shared by different users of a computer system. So all this process management, the operating system manages these different types of processes in a computer. And control execution of application. So nothing but programming execution. So it is going to control. So what are the applications to be executed and when it has to be executed. All these are controlled by process management. Now create, execute and delete a process. Delete a process, nothing but system process or user process. Here the process, we know what is the meaning of process, a program in execution. So all the process, it has to be executed. So here process management is nothing but our operating system helps us to create, execute and delete a process. So this is one of the application of or one of the uses of operating system. Now cancel or resume process. Suppose if any program in execution, the same execution can be stopped or it can be resumed. So that is another function of operating system. Next, schedule a process. scheduling a process. What is the meaning of scheduling a process? And for example, suppose if you want to shut down a computer system, it can be scheduled. So in the computer system, in the under setting, we can set a time for shutdown. So by that particular time, computer will be shut down. So this is one of the examples. That is nothing but scheduling. Similarly, we can schedule different operation. So this is process management is one of the application of operating system. Under that, these are all different activities related to process management. Now, next function is open, close and write device drivers and communicate, control and monitor the device drivers. So here device drivers are nothing but a type of software. So if I talk about a device, I am talking about hardware device. Computer system, any hardware must have a supported software that is called device drivers. For example, if you want to connect a printer to a computer system, so printer is a hardware. So for the proper functioning of a printer, we need to have a drivers of particular printer, that is called device drivers. Similarly, so operating system is one of the responsibilities to manage device drivers. So device driver is nothing but a special program or a software to support a respective or particular hardware. So that is device drivers. And communicate, control, monitor the drivers. Suppose if problem with any of the drivers or any of the hardware is not working, then we have to look into the device drivers part of it. It can be rectified or it can be corrected. So that is nothing but device drivers, communication and monitor the device drivers. Next one is called file management. What is a file management? The file management, it includes create and delete both the files and directories. Now, all of you know that we are using file. File is the basic unit of computer storage. So, anything in a computer is in the form of file. It can be any type of file. For example, if I talk about document, which is a text file or .txt, .docx, or even maybe your image file, .jpg or .bmp, .mp3, .mp4, all these are different types of file. So that is file management, meaning is it create and delete both the files and directories. Now we are going to store information or data in a computer memory in the form of folders. That is nothing but directories. So it helps us to create and delete the files as well as directories or folders, and it provide access to the files. So this is nothing but it controlling the access to the file. So everyone cannot access all types of files. So it can be restricted. So this is provide access to the file. And or restrictions. Allocate space for file. Again, it is nothing but comes under memory management. So it's going to allocate enough space for your file created. And keep backup of files. What is a backup? I told you in my previous slide. Backup is nothing but the copying the existing data to some other devices or secondary memory devices. That is nothing but backup. So it helps us to take backup of files and secure files. Secure files from outside users. Nothing but it provides a control access to different types of file system. So this is one of the function is file management. Under that, these are the different activities or process. Next one is another function is protection and security. So here user authentication, file attributes like read, write, encryption, backup of data. All these are nothing but to protect the data from external users. So that is the protection and security. So protection is nothing but in the form of read write permission. So if you want to read the data, we have to have a permission. Even for writing the data to the computer or memory, we have to take or there should be a permission for this. So this is read and write permission for a file system. And also encryption. You know what is encryption, and backup of data. And another function is user authentication. it is nothing but your username and password. All of you are familiar with username and password, and most of you will be having any email account or any type of account. If you want to log into a particular email, you have to enter your username and password. So username and password, that is the computer system, it has to be, your username and password has to be authenticated from the system. So that is nothing but user authentication. So if authentication is success, you could able to get into any of the email system, or if authentication fails, then you cannot log into any of your email system. So that is user authentication, a sort of protection and security to your computers and data. Now let us move on to next slide. Here, types of operating system. Now we have learned the operating system and different function of operating system. Now let us see what are all different types of operating system. Here, single user operating system. It is single user operating system means a type of operating system it supports only one user at a time. Okay, this is single user operating system. Next, batch processing operating system, multi-programming operating system. What is multi-programming? Means more than one program. So a operating system, it supports to execute more than one program simultaneously. So that is multi-programming. And under multi-programming, these are all different types of operating system. So multitasking operating system. What is a task? Task is nothing but a process. So an operating system, it executes more than one task simultaneously. So it's called multitasking. Very good example for this is, suppose when we are using computer system, at the same time we are using microphone or speaker to listen to the music. So simultaneously we are listening as well as we are working with the computer. There are two tasks are taking place. That is called multitasking. Means to execute more than one task simultaneously or at a time. That is multitasking operating system. And multi-user operating system. Actually, now we have learned, here we have seen single user operating system means only one user can operate a computer system at a time. So what is the meaning of multi-user? So this is a type of operating system. It supports more than one user to operate the computer system or to work with different resources of computer system. Next, time sharing system and real-time system. All these are different types of operating system are available here. Now, distributed operating system. Distributed operating system. The meaning of distributed operating system is nothing but, so if there are 10 types of different tasks to be completed by a computer, then instead of having all 10 programs in one computer, we are going to have more than one computer to share 10 different programs. That is nothing but distributed operating system. The definition says that more than one work can be shared by different computers. For example, if there are 10 tasks to be completed, so all the 10 tasks can be shared by different computer systems. That is nothing but your distributed operating system. So operating system supports these type of tasks. Next one is networking operating system. Now all of you know at this time what is a computer network. Computer network is nothing but connecting different computers together to form one network. So if you talk about a computer network, in one computer network you can have more than two computers to be connected for effective communication. So operating system supports these type of things or tasks are called network operating system. Next one is called multi-threading operating system. So these are all different types of operating systems. Now next concept is user interface. So what is the meaning of user interface? Now we have learned that an operating system is an interface between the user and the computer. So here under that there are two types of interface for the user. One is CUI, nothing but command user interface, and second one is GUI, nothing but graphical user interface. So here the meaning of these two are different methods to communicate with the computer system. So here now let us see what is CUI. This is command user interface. Here this CUI interface allows the user to interact with the computer through text terminal. So here what is the meaning of text terminal? Here we are communicate with the computer through computer programs. It is nothing but set of instructions. So we have to instruct the computer at the text terminal. For example, here we say C prompt or command prompt. This one you might have seen in your computer system. This is called DOS prompt or C prompt or command prompt. So this is the place where we have to type our commands for execution of any type of work. So this is a command prompt. So since both the input and output are character based interface, it is known as character user interface. Another name is command user interface or character user interface. Here if we want to insert a computer, we have to type the program. So our program consists of alphabets or digits or special characters. So it consists of all the keyboard characters. So the program consists of all the characters available on the keyboard. So that is why it is called as character user interface. Now MS-DOS, that is Microsoft Disk Operating System. Here DOS stands for Disk Operating System, is an example for CUI operating system, or it is an interface. So CUI is a type of interface where it works with, or the user has to work with, command prompt or C prompt, and here is the place we have to type the instructions, and these instructions are nothing but a combination of characters, maybe alphabets, numbers or special characters. That is why it is called as character user interface. Now let us go to next slide. It is GUI, nothing but graphical user interface. So here it is an interface where the commands are selected from the menus and icons rather than typing them from the keyboard. So in the previous interface, that is CUI, the user has to type the command at the command prompt, but here it is an interface through menus and icons. Menus and icons, and very good example for that is Windows operating system. Now all of us are familiar with Windows operating system. So how we are going to work with the operating system? There on the screen, as soon as you boot the computer or on the computer, you can see a screen. There's a Windows screen. There on that desktop, we can see different types of icons, and it is supported with the mouse. So the user used to select different types of icons through a mouse. So that is the meaning of here icons. Here icons as well as menus. So it allows the user to click on the required icon with the help of mouse or handheld devices. So here mouse is a device used or supported by GUI to work with GUI operating system. Here, how do we use the mouse? First, we select the icons, and there we have to single click or double click to execute or to open particular application. That is how the GUI works. Here, GUI stands for graphical user interface. It is nothing but communication with the computer with menus and icons by using a device like mouse. So Windows operating system is an example for this GUI operating system. This is another type of interface. Now let us see the difference between these two type of interfaces. One is CUI, GUI. CUI, here the user must type the commands at command prompt, that is C prompt. Here C prompt to interact with the computer. But with GUI, here if you look at the GUI, the user must click on icons with the help of mouse. By using the different devices, handheld devices, the user will click on icons or menus or dialog boxes, etc. to work with or to interact with the computer. Now second point is the user must remember the commands and their parameters. That is true. Here, if you want to instruct a computer or if you want to write the program in a computer, the user must be knowing the syntax of a particular language and he'll be knowing different parameters of that particular language. But here, when it comes to GUI, the user need not to remember the commands. So because all these are available in the form of menus and icons on the monitor. So here another advantage is that GUI, the user must remember the commands, but wherein at GUI, the user need not remember any command for execution of any instruction. Next one is here under CUI, mouse operation is not available in DOS. DOS is disk operating system. It is an example for CUI. So this DOS CUI doesn't support mouse, that is an input device, but this GUI, it supports mouse operation, so the user can work with the mouse easily. So these are the differences between CUI and GUI. Students, in this session we have discussed about different functions of operating system and also interfaces like CUI and GUI. Now let us continue our discussion in my next session. Thank you very much.